Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
That's impossible.
꼬마입니다. 지금 여기서 스토리를 진행하고 있습니다. 여기 돈이 별로 없네요. 실링이라는 화폐 단위를 사용하나봐요. 여기 5실링 이렇게 하니까. 맞습니다. 감사합니다. 뱀파이어를 하시는 걸 보고 너무 재밌어 보여서 다운로드 받았습니다.
Who's there? Are you referring to me? No.
이 사람을 찾아야 되는데.
No. I still have so much to accomplish.
아이고.
I still
주인공이
have so
뭔가
much left that needs
하려고
doing.
했던 것 같습니다. 빨리 이으셔야죠. 선생님. 돈이 많네. 어이구야. 왜 자동으로 되네? 이으셔서 재밌게 플레이하시길 바랍니다. 아이씨, 일어나 봐요. 여기서 그렇게 자고 계시면 안 돼요. 입을 모르게 했다.
John, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No. There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No.
파이팅 하겠습니다. 어슬러님도 뱀파이어 파이팅 하시기 바랍니다. 밝은 리볼버 레벨 1. 레벨을 업할 수가 있군요. 이거 속도 향상, 화력 향상. 5레벨까지 있네. 연사력, 충격 효과, 기절 5증가. 기절이라는 개념이 있네. 이렇게 하는 것 같죠? 이거. 보조무기 교체. 장착. 왜? 이거 아까 전에 봤던 거죠. 엄샬루님 채널에서 10월 15일 잠자리를 설쳤다. 백희가 밤새 기침을 하였고 이럴 때문에 제정신이 아니었다. 뭐 토를 했고 뭐 무덤을 파는 자금을 중지했고 공격을 했고 백희가 전에 들었던 내용이기 때문에 하겠습니다. 알겠습니다. 껌셀러님 제 채널 와주셔서 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 스토리가 중요한 게임 같다고요? 알겠습니다. 토를 생각만 하니까 나올 것 같군요.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all.
현실을 인정해. 현실을 인정해. 조나단.
It's a nightmare.
알겠습니다.
That's it.
금방 또 뵐게요. It's a nightmare. 저는 한번 총 안 쏴보도록 할게요, 이거. 꼼살레님은 총을 쏴보셨으니까 저는 안 쏴보도록 하겠습니다.
So be it.
잠이 온다. 죽음의 잠이 온다. 저는 안 쏴보도록 하겠습니다. 주인공, 넌 더 살아야지.
Rational thinking only.
이게 뭐가 이성적이야? 난 쏘지 않을 테야. 그래서 한번 기다려 보려고요. 잠시만요. 어우, 노래 무서워. 아침인데 무서워. 무서워. 주인공, 빨리 그 다음 장면을 보여줘. 왜 거기서 자꾸 총만 겨누고 있는 거야? 난 더 기다려야겠어. 노래가, 무서워. 오늘도 혼자 못 자겠다, 이거. 오늘 혼자 못 자겠다. 한 시간이든 2시간이든 기다려보겠습니다. 주인공, 너 그만 좀 총을 겨누고 있어. 좀 총 떼, 임마. 임마. 야마. 아이씨, 빨리 총 빼고 다음 장면 보여줘요. 이게 맞습니다. 쏘지 않을 수가 약간 안 쏠 수 없게 약간 만드는 그런 분위기를 만드는 것 같아요. 빨리 다음 장면 보여줘. 다음 장면 보여줘. 진짜 그냥 안 쏘지. 쏠까? 말까? 의지가 흔들린다. 참아야 하느리라. 참아야 하느리라. 참아야 해. 참아야 해. 참아야 해. 참아야 해. 세모에서 손 뗀마. 조준하지 마. 잠깐만. 이 세모 버튼에 자꾸 손이 갑니다. 통제할 수 없다. 아니지. 이렇게 안 싸웠잖아. 시간만 더 비하겠죠? 아닌가? 주인공 그만하고 다음 장면을 보여줘. 내 의지가 지금 흔들리고 있어. 널 쏴야 되잖아, 지금. 이거 그냥 쏘는 게 맞는 것 같으니까 저 그냥 쏘겠습니다. 자, 환상이 날아러 오세요. 하나, 둘, 셋, 뿅! 또록. 지상에서 영원으로. 뱀파이어. 근데 참 저는 여기서 약간 의문이 좀 들었어요. 왜 뱀파이어 중에서 Y를 강조할까? 어이 깜짝이야. 깜짝이야. 나는 심장이 없어. 여기가 어디요? 의사 양반. 총 맞은 흔적이 있긴 하네요. 심장을 맞췄네.
This is absolute madness.
This is absolute madness.
For real.
닮았으면 미친 게 개야. 미친 개야. 눈부신 햇살을 어스름 반사하고 길들이고 싶거든. 이제 진화가 나오는군. 자식작용을 선택합니다. 이런 개념이구나. 경험치를 깎는다 해야 될까요, 이걸? 자, 저는 선지창 가도록 하겠습니다. 선지창. 이런 느낌이군요, 이런 거. 그래서 촤악 하면은 몸속에서 창이 촤악, 선지가 촤악. 그러시죠. 엔딩에 가까이 가게 되면 뭐 알겠죠, 깜살루님 말대로. 선지창 가도록 하겠습니다. 선지 맛있어. 고무고무. 맞습니다. 고무고무 맞습니다. 몸속에서 아니 원래는 팔에서 나와야 되는데 다리인가 아닌가? 원피스를 안 봐가지고 모르겠습니다. 제가 만화를 안 좋아해가지고. 끝없는 갈증. 임무 업데이트. 누군가 이곳을 사람의 줄로 살해하고 도살하고 그들의 피를 마셔서 그 사람처럼 만들고 있다는 것. 밤에 찾아왔고 런던에 있고 부두가에 있는데 모르는 동네이고 뱀파이어가 있다는 뜻이네요. 그게 내가 일어날 걸까? 피자공을 따라가야 되고. 오호.
I must find him to understand what I have become.
쪽 강쪽으로 이동하기. 아, 이런 개념이구나. 맵 시스템.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
사람의 흔적이 없는 거네. 그래, 두와. 선지창 맛을 보여주지. 두완마, 너가 시험하기 좋은 내가 아주 영광스럽게도 선지를 먹여주마. 두완마, 두와. 알. 뭐야? 뭐야? 파크라이랑 똑같군요, 이거. 밖에 심장이 있어. 파크라이랑 똑같네요, 이거. 근데 여기 있던 시체 어디 갔어? 걸어 나갔나? 이걸? 재생해서? 이게 넘어져 있을 리가 없죠? 일단 파크라이처럼 L3랑 R3를 누르면은 이렇게 피가 보이네요. 난 여길 빠져나가야겠어. 뭐야? 순간이동으로. 진짜 본진술.
My head's spinning.
도망쳐?
Come on, you coward!
뭐야 이거? 말도? 보조무기다. 어쌔신 크리드가 되고 있는데요, 이거? 뭐 없나? 이거? 탭함이 없나? 저거 어차피 문 안 깨지는데 100% 안 깨질 건데 주인공 버프가 있어서. 거머리라니. 맞습니다. 고결한 뱀파이어입니다, 우리는.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
게임하면서 배웠던 대로 사냥팀을 제대로 이용한다. 에이, 설. 에이, 전. 주압. 참 맛있어.
Strength. A strength I never knew I
뭐야?
had.
L3를 누르니까 되네요. 아, L3구나, 이게. 후훗.
This shouldn't be possible.
후훗. 들어오거라. 애따가. 쏴보거라. 내가 맞는지 한번 확인해보도록 하여라. 너 이거는 맞출 수 있을 거라 생각하게. 더 쏴봐봐. 짜상. 주압. 앙. 주압. 앙. 주압. 아따가. 주압. 어쩌니. 주압.
Being is a
나가. 저는 엔딩이 데드 엔딩이든 상관없습니다. 샷건. 앙앙이를 죽이려 하더니 예이 넘어져라 임마. 앙앙을. 치즈 맛있어. 티티티티. 아. 도망쳐. 열려. 올려. 넘어가. 올라가. 아예 안 올라. 아, 죽여야 하는 거구나. 헌지창의 힘을 맛봐야 되는 거냐면.
my reflexes. I'm
네,
not human anymore.
무료치고는 굉장히 타격감도 있고 좋네요. 이동! 비전 이동! 어디로 가야 하고. 아, 왜, 이 메뉴. 아, 달리기 버튼이 자꾸 L3인 줄 알고 계속 누르네요, 이거. 저쪽으로 가야 하는지. 어디로 가야 하고. 저기? 이쪽인데. 역시 뭔가 이동해야 되겠네요, 이거. 진짜 다 알고 있는 사실인 듯한 이거. 올라가 보고. 엔딩 보는 것이로 결정하셨군요. 저도 이거 엔딩 봐야겠습니다. 이거 너무 재밌네요, 이거. 무료? 예전에는 이거 제가 이거 사고 싶어가지고 저희 부모님한테 얘기를 드렸는데 안 된다고. 절대 안 된다고. 이게 뱀파이어잖아요, 주제가. 거기서는 그러다 보니 부모님께 얘기를 했지만 결국에는 분명 너 하다가 무서워서 안 할 것이다 이러면서 천천히 하시죠. 저도 이어가지고 조금 오래 하도록 하겠습니다. 네, 맞습니다. 그렇게 하시는 게 부모님이죠, 당연히. 분명히 제가 무서워할 거라고 이러면서 하시니까 알겠다. 내가 그럼 이거 커서 사주시면 안 되냐 했는데 무료로 풀렸네요, 이게. 신나. 이거 베타 아저씨 순간이동 좀 쓰게 가까이 와주세요. 오, 피 회복. 이거 어떻게 가야 하죠? 어떻게 가야 합니까? 뭐야, 문이 있었네? 서더크 다리. 소니가 잘못했습니다, 소니가.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled
그래,
my
죄를
need for blood.
유치해야지.
Mary,
어?
someone will pay for what
이
happened to
친구?
you. For what happened to us.
이 친구.
This is
서터리 탕 다리. 서터리 탕 다리. 오, 뭐야. 돈이 많네, 이제.
It's locked.
문 열어, 임마! 문 열어! 문 열어!
I cannot enter.
아, 여기구나. 저기 다리가 끊어져 있는데요, 이거? 만난 귀친. 아, 비전이동!
The dizziness from the jump.
앙앙 하는
I
제
can now control it.
이제 여기서 열리겠지.
It's locked.
뭐야, 잠겨있네, 그냥. 아니, 귀징이잖아. 귀징. 맛있어.
I have this thirst for blood.
이거 쥐를 많이 먹어도 이거 뭐 트로피 같은 게 있지 않을까요? 이거?
What will London have to say to me?
What will London?
I've so many questions unanswered.
당연히 답을 얻지 못하겠지. 처음 겪어보는 일이니까. 라임하우스 구도.
Another
뭐야.
corpse. Have the very streets of London become a
딱
mausoleum?
굳은 걸까요, 이게? 얼굴 보지 마. 얼굴 보지 마, 엄마. 어이. 오, 이거 아는구나. 심박수 측정하는 거.
The man has been drained of all blood,
피를 전부 잃었대요.
but I can still smell the scent of it.
그 냄새가 뭐지? 뱀파이어 냄새인가?
I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
여기까지 껌셀러님 방송 본 기억이 나고 봤는데 분명 끝까지 거의 끝까지라기보다는 좀 더 봤는데 이거
Fresh blood.
죄송합니다.
Where has everyone gone?
이거 핥아 먹으면 맛있겠구나 너한텐. 비전 이동. 편하게 없고. 여기다 연신처군. 짜란. 이렇게 작업되군요. 뭐야? 비싼 걸 얻었어요 이거. 일본 손잡이 물품 방아쇠. 뭐지? 이거 뭐야? 이거 작업대 같군요 이거. 치료제, 피로 치료제. 재활 중 아픈 시민 치료. 폐혈증이 있군요. 나 이거 확인 쓰고 싶어 이거. 나 확인 쓰고 싶어. 총 쏘고 싶단 말이야. 오야, 깜짝이야. 할 거리가 엄청 많다. 알겠습니다. 어디로 가야지? 불명. 혈액 품질. 혈액에도 품질이 있나?
At last, a little life.
안녕하세요.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry,
장기,
things can only
장기
get
꺼낸
worse.
느낌이. 술집에 들어온 사람이 있나요?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman.
지역 귀신.
Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own dog.
어떤 면을 받아들이는 것보단 쉬우니까 뭔가 생각이 많아지는 말이군요.
Has
술집에 들어온 사람이
anybody entered
있었나?
the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last
술을
few
마십니다.
hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
지금 자유롭게 행동할 수 있나요?
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
뭐야, 왜 피가 있어? 안녕하세요.
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
되게 지금
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle.
터키석 거북.
I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina,
터키석 거북?
if you want to know.
이게 뭘까요, 겁설님?
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
약간
You
세이프
don't
하우스
seem to have much
느낌이군요.
business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic,
전염병, 살인 사건.
now all these terrible murders.
약간 지금 상황하고 되게 비슷하네요. 코로나에다가 또 코로나에다가 뭐였지 또 범죄도
The
그렇고.
murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible.
피가
Some
빨렸다.
say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog.
맞습니다.
What's that?
통수증을 안
No one
공개해서
knows. People have always disappeared around these parts.
먹이를
The
찾아내는
ancients say
수궁창계.
it's the sewer dog coming out to feed.
수궁창이라는
But now
말이
he's
왜
killing in the
들어갔을까요,
streets.
이건?
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu.
스페인 독감.
Yeah.
아, 맞네요.
Killed
스페인
so
독감.
many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
전염병 전쟁에다가 뱀파이어까지 나오니까 이 사람들로서는
I just
조금
want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir.
이미 얘기 다
It's
했잖아.
just I've other customers to
이미
take
얘기
care
다
of.
했잖아.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah. Of course. I mean, I best check on them.
이미 얘기 다 했는데 꼼슬러님 이거
I'll leave then. Thank you.
얘기 다 했는데 얘기 좀 하고 싶다고. 1분인가? 톰?
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you.
지옥에서 갓 뱉어낸
I'm not. not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. A last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these
이분이
dark times.
톤이시군요.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here.
맞습니다.
Don't you know about the murders?
긴 밤이 무슨 뜻일까요?
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
경찰이 지금은 무능한 그런 느낌이군요. 경찰도 자기 목숨을 이제 소중하게 생각하니까.
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been
매일
found.
아침.
And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
그럼 뱀파이어는 밤에 활동하니까 밤에 피 발라놓고 아침엔 쉬네요. 그 맞는 것 같아요.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
저 뭔가 좀 안 좋은 그게 생각났습니다. 뱀파이어가 여기 들어와 있다면 그것도 피해 흔적 없이 그냥 옷만 입고 온 저처럼 이렇게 옷에다가 막 피 같은 거 있고 그러지 않잖아요. 깨끗하게 있어야 되니까 열심히 안 받으려면. 그럼 일주일치 돈을 내고 뭘 하느냐? 저는 생각이 났습니다.
How long has he
뱀파이어가
been
있는 것
here?
He
같습니다.
rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess.
아,
Well dressed, quite polite.
제가
Professor,
예상한
something
대로
fancy like that.
그런
Always
것
writing,
같습니다.
reading
뱀파이어 전부
notes.
다 거의 제가 아는 바로는 신사적인 복장? 신사 복장이라 할까요? 백작 느낌의 옷을 입고 있는 그런 동화라 해야 되나요? 그 사진으로 하는 게 맞을까요, 이걸? 그런 거
I
많이
need to
봐가지고
meet this man. I have
백작처럼 입어서.
questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And, sir,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
막 사람 때리고 죽이지 말라.
Boot boys get what's coming to them.
첫 번째 문.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
뱀파이어들이군요.
But I require them.
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Say it, the vampire.
아니 진짜
Present yourself.
저리 치워.
I need a word. With anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
뱀파이어가 아니네요. 오, 되게 예상 바뀐데 이거? 십자가 빔. 십자가 빔. 뱀파이어는 아닌 것 같군요. 십자가를 들고 있는 건 뭐니? 교회 사람인 것 같은데요?
And who might you be?
모릅니다.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
십자가 빈 맞고서 약간 겸손해진 주인공 같네.
Like you.
저도
I've been
피해자입니다.
hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul.
교단.
I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
그
And what
교단이란 게
exactly
뭐죠?
is this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless.
처치해야죠.
It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
뭘까요, 검슬러님? 여자 목소리가 들렸는데 자신은 여자와 대화하지 않았다고. 분명 한 명 이상은 있었어요, 같은 방에. 눈빛이 좀 수상합니다.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
아닙니다 누르면 어떻게 될까요?
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head.
맞습니다. 누군가 있었습니다.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
죽여야죠. 피 빨아서.
I'll end him.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
지금 이 상태에서 물면 안 되나? 정신이 나갈 것 같다고? 분명 밖에 나갔거나 했는데. 방금 전에 좀 꼼살로님 들으셨는지 모르겠지만 정신이 나갈 것 같다고 빨리 여길 빠져나가야겠다고.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must
가장
know
믿음직한 사람.
something.
이 사람은 술 취해서 안 되죠?
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
제가 추리를 해보도록 하겠습니다. 저 스완슨 박사라는 사람이 숨기고 있는 것 같습니다. 제 생각에 분명.
I think you're hiding something from me.
I hide many things from many people, sir. That's what my job's about.
이렇게 해가지고 또 이 사람을 약간 이상하게 만들라는 그런 제작사의 의도 저는 믿지 않았습니다. 스완슨 박사가 약간 숨고 있다는 거를 제가 한번 예측해 보겠습니다. 스완슨 박사가 여기 문 열려 있죠. 여기 문 이렇게 열려 있고 뱀파이어라면 이거 순간 이동해가지고 들어올 수 있습니까? 있습니다. 그렇기에 그렇게 와가지고 왜 대화를 했을까요? 왜 대화를 했지?
Can I have some privacy, please?
사생을 못
Go
지켜줍니다.
hunt your shadow. I'm certain we shall meet again. Please leave me alone. Would you be so kind as to leave the room?
Nope.
Can I have some privacy, please?
뱀파이어가 여기 들어와서 굳이 이 사람과 대화를 왜 했을까요? 뱀파이어인지 모르겠지만 여기로 들어온 사람은 없다 하고 근데 여기서 대화 소리가 났고 뒤쪽에 시체 같은 거 있나? 이런데? 없네? 돈 좀 가져가겠습니다. 살인자 잡으려면 돈이 좀 필요해가지고.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
이 사람은 사람인지.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I
진실을
spoke
말하세요.
to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
아, 아직 도입부라고 생각하면 될까요?
William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he...
윌리엄?
Well, I thought he was going to
Bishop.
clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
창백했나 보군요. 피부랑.
What happened tonight?
윌리엄
He was
비숍.
dead drunk as usual.
아,
God,
알겠습니다.
his eyes.
감사합니다, 건설가님.
His face.
팁 감사합니다.
He must have caught something awful. He shouted and
Ah.
cried.
그러신가요?
It was terrible.
일단은
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked
한번
at the canning
찾아보도록
factory
하겠습니다.
before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really.
오늘 밤 전까지
He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why
물렸구나.
keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
보니까 진짜 그냥 진짜 뭐라 해야 될까요? 정말 간단하게 진짜 알 수 있을 것 같은데 너무 쉽네요 이거. 윌리엄 비숍이 물렸네요. 물렸고 또 여기 찾아왔고 공격성이 있고 송곳니는 아닌가 보군. 송곳니까지는 안 보였나 보네요.
May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
앞에다 대고 욕하는 건 좀 아니지 않습니까?
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
확 물어버릴 수도 없고 이거 위층?
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess.
아, 너무 수상한데.
Please leave me alone.
십자가만 없으면 되지 않을까요? 이 사람 뭐죠? 이 사진 뭘까요? 젊었을 때 사진 아닌 것 같고. 난가? 난 아닌데. 이 사람이 윌리엄 비숍이라는 사람일지도 모르겠군요. 윌리엄 비숍은 좋은 사람이었다. 뒤에 막 뭐 손입고 있는 거 아니겠죠? 인도에 가지 않았다고?
You again. What can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
강제로 말하게 했네요.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory.
아, 체면 걸었나 보군요, 얘. 위험한
Is
사람인가요?
he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. Can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual,
평소보다 더
perhaps.
취했을지도.
He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
떠났다.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
아, 말빨이 보통이 아니군.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect?
발진이
He's a tall,
심하고
sick
날부로
bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a
뭐가
mess.
낫나보군요.
If you
천연두인가?
see him, tell him I
천연두는
don't want him
아닌데.
back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
천연두일라나? 북쪽 부두. 아, 자꾸 L3 눌러가지고 스트레스 받네요. 아우 진짜. 응? 진짜.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
어? 떴나? 안 떴구나. 어? 오늘 왕실함대에 입대하십시오. 더 알고 싶으세요? 가장 가까운 징병소에서 알아보세요. 군... 맞습니다. 또 동그라미 꾸는데 이게 적응이 안 되네요, 이거. 헷갈립니다, 저도. 저렇게 보면 약간 군대, 군인의 직업을 군인으로 하라는 약간 말 같네요, 이거. 군대에 입대해라. 이런 거네요. 그렇게 해가지고 뱀파이어도 잡고 뭐 해라. 이런 거 같은데. 오우야. 오 마이 갓. 키가 작은데?
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood,
피가
just like the
살
previous
창백하고
victim.
있는 살이.
This man was armed. He tried to defend
인정할
himself.
상태.
What's this?
메모?
Some sort of note. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something
그냥
of a heavy
비숍이라는
drinker.
듯한 술고래. 맞습니다. 글이 막
There are
엄청
blood
막
splats on the
유액할
other side
정도로
of the canal.
막
I must
징그럽진
reach
않군요.
that barge.
우리는 피쩍 따라가요. 누군가 있다. 이렇게 있어도 데미지 안 받잖아. 이거 다 들리겠다 이거. 피를 한번 여기서 크게 흘러내.
Sorry, sir. No admittance.
날 봤다. 날 봤어. 맞습니다. 똥게임이 정말 했는데 똥게임이 아니라면 이런 류는 진짜 신박하고 재밌죠. 아저씨 죄송합니다. 잠깐만. 오, 총알.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets.
이거 아니지.
I feel like I'm
총.
back on the front line again.
총 어떻게 바꾸지? 이렇게구나. 알겠습니다. 엄살로님 외출 잘 하세요. 그리고 코로나 조심하시고요. 감사합니다. 엄살로님도 돌아오시면은 뱀파이어 화이팅 하시기 바랍니다. 건바. 뭐야? 힘, 피, 그림자. 주황색은 높은 저항이야. 빨간색은 높은, 중간, 높은. 아닙니다. 건바. 오, 사건. 총소리를 못 들었다고, 이걸? 이군. 세이프 존이다. 작업대가 있고. 돈이다. 작업대를 한번 보도록 하죠. 확인. 오. 스프링. 뛰어난 리볼. 근데 뱀파이어는 치약용으로 해야지 굳이 왜 칼을. 자, 업그레이드 모스 해봐야지. 혈액량, 큰 목마름, 세계 물리기, 빠른 회복, 섀도우 미스. 체력, 응고, 피를 즉시 앞을 막고 무방비 상태로 만듭니다. 움직이지 못하는 것을 죽이는 게 더 쉽습니다. 투명 장벽을 진성에 사라지거나 파괴될 때까지 직접적인 피를 흡수합니다. 다음날 밤, 쥐쟁이 많군. 앙. 앙.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
윌리엄.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Dearest friend, you're my last and dearest friend.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
아, 윌리엄 비숍.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
이거
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me. Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
뭐야?
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
word again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming. We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan. It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
You can do better than that.
I cannot enter.
Nah, it's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. It's locked. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. I cannot enter. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. Scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
wish I
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
We have some of the most brilliant minds in London at Pembroke.
I will not let you down.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
You always...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to
Never
give the
could keep
benefit of the
anything
doubt.
from her. Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire.
one might say, a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. you could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York.
Less resignation and more determination.
Time has lost its effect on me.
But the suffering... Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
last thoughts would be so.
Last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Must prove what we are capable of. It is now or never.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
My blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes. And I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippins. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
What must I do? What must I do? Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. Do you need medical attention, sir?
No thanks, sir. Unless you're able to get rid of every rat in London.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis?
Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
What's that do? You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him. This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor. What sort of creature is this? Not a lot to check, but some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Step away, sir. Don't come...